All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Inside the LPGA podcast. I'm very excited for this episode because we got the gang back together. We got Emma Talley, Adam Stanley. My name is Hope Barnett. I'm an LPGA host and reporter, and I'm so excited to be joined by two of my favorite people. Guys, how is it going? It's great to have you back on the podcast, Adam. You start. What's been going on?
Yes, this is it's a thrill to be back. Obviously, we were kind of sprinting through the spring and the summer, and then we had a bit of a lull, and now we're back for very good reason for the big team competition, which can't come soon enough. Things are going great. Busy summer, a little bit of a lull for the fall as well on the personal and home front. My family moved to a bigger house after we had we had another baby in January, so need a little bit more space, and things are going just fine, and we're looking forward to the holiday season where things will be kind of more settled and sorted. But otherwise, we're doing great. Emma, how are you?
I'm good, guys. I'm actually missing the tour life. I miss golf. Me and my dad are going to go hit some golf balls this afternoon. So,
Nice.
You never know, LPGA. I might just bring it back.
I personally would love to have you back. I miss you out there. I'm very excited to see Adam at CME Group Tour Championship.
Yes.
But yeah, we need to all get back together in person. We need to do that ASAP. But for now, we will have to deal with meeting virtually. And like you said, it is for very good reason. The Hanwha LIFEPLUS International Crown is about to kick off, and I'm so excited. I was at the last edition of it. It was in San Francisco at TPC Harding Park, and Team Thailand emerged victorious. It was my first ever international crown, especially after there was a bit of a break in years because of the pandemic, and then it was just kind of like the LPGA had other things to worry about before getting it back on the schedule. But
it was like 6 years.
They finally did. Yeah, it was a big break. So I think it was a question of, is it going to come back? But it did, and now we are in full force, and we are recording this ahead of time. It is going to be in Korea, and I'm actually going over there, so I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I've never been to Korea, so I'm heading there in a few days. But until then, let's talk about the event, because I don't think everyone is super educated on like how it works, and it's every 2 years, so it only comes around every once in a while. So who better to get than the three of us to talk about it? Even though I don't think we still had picked a winner for the majors this year, but that's okay. That's okay. We finally had a repeat winner this season, and she is playing in this event, so I think that's going to be pretty awesome. This is the 5th ever Hanwha LIFEPLUS International Crown. And it's, like I said, it's going to be in Korea. And the last time it was in Korea, they actually won. So I'm excited to see who does it, if it's going to be another home win. But Emma, I actually want to just talk on the event itself. You're obviously an LPGA player, and you were just saying how much you miss being out on tour. But how cool is it to have an event like this? It's a little bit different. It's not quite like Solheim. You get to see multiple countries go head to head. It's 8 countries and 32 players total. So what do you take away from this tournament, and how fun is it to watch all these different players from different countries team up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the LPGA is very international, and it's very diverse. So I think this event fits perfectly for the LPGA Tour. We have so many girls from so many different countries, and now we have a world team, which is also really exciting because there were a few players that were kind of left out, which I know Adam will talk about in a little bit. But there are a few people that were kind of left out that needed to be part of this international crown. So the cool thing too about this is, it's in Asia, and that's part of the reason why I missed the tour, is because I love going to Asia. It's such a cool place. I think the atmosphere in Korea this year is going to be insane. We actually have to have bodyguards for the Korean players when we go over there.
What?
Yeah.
It's huge over there.
It's like the biggest sport over there is women's golf.
Yeah.
So so different. It's really supported. I remember one year, I know it's a different Asian country, in Japan, they had to like calm the crowds down before you hit because there were so many people and just like everyone was talking. And I walked on the tee and like said, raise the roof. It was like, it felt like Summer Cup at a just normal event in Japan. So
In Japan, like,
yeah,
that's so cool.
so I just know that this event's going to be really special, not just to the Korean players, but just to be over there. You're going to have so much fun, Hope. I know you like Asian food, and the food will be perfecto.
Stop.
Can't wait. I'm going to come back a few pounds heavier, and I do not care.
For sure.
I cannot wait. Emma, you mentioned the world team briefly. That's a new addition to the Hanwha LIFEPLUS International Crown. And journalists and fans and we have been asking for this team because we have had some of the biggest stars be left off these teams because, you know, they might be the only person from their country that plays on tour or one of the top ranked players. And Adam, you were one of those journalists. I love it. You wanted this.
I was driving the
got
bus
it.
forward. I think I asked, the commissioners, all of them that I've ever talked to in my entire journalistic career of the LPGA Tour. Hey, what do we got something cooking here or what?
Yeah. No, and your girl Brooke Henderson, who
She made it.
who
Yes.
won in her home country this year. Pretty awesome. What a week.
Yeah.
But how great of an addition is that? I mean, we have Lydia Ko,
Yeah.
Charley Hull, Ling Shi, and Brooke Henderson. Like, I mean, is that kind of unfair? Because that is such a good team.
It's a great question because I'm gonna obviously I'm excited to see Brooke in a team environment. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But you look at who she's gonna be grouped up with. Lydia Ko, active Hall of Famer, right? It's like fourth in the world, whatever it is, third in the world maybe this week. It's incredible. Charley Hull, an absolute dog in these match play situations. It's gonna be really, really neat. And I think just kind of reflecting on the 2023 edition of the International Crown when it came down to the end. Australia made it into the finale, and Australia coming into the week was seventh in the rankings, right? Just based
You just never know.
on where everyone was. And then you had South Korea, which was second, and they had kind of fallen down a little bit. And Japan, maybe the biggest surprise, Japan finished last out of the 8 countries, and they were ranked third coming into the week. So, yeah, I mean, the world team, they've never played together before. Lydia and Brooke haven't played team events in like a decade plus, and again, I'll get to more of that later. But with golf, with match play, with team competitions, you never know. So it's going to be really neat, and I think it was an incredible, deserved, makes total sense decision by the LPGA Tour to add this world team to the mix as well.
Someone, I don't remember who told me this, but they were talking to Lydia and her sister who travels with her, and they were like, we've never played team golf.
Yeah.
We've never done this. This is new. And then obviously Charley has, but it's always with Team Europe or Team England. So I think it's going to be really interesting and fun to see how those 4 kind of work together. But yeah, we will get to that in a minute. We are going to make picks, so everybody stay tuned for that. I'm excited to see what all the fans pick as well, because like you said, Adam, it just doesn't matter going into the week where you're ranked. Anyone could upset anyone, and that's my favorite part about team events is you just don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But really quick, speaking on the last 4 international crowns, the winners that we've had are Spain, United States, South Korea, and Thailand. Kind of crazy because we don't even have a Spain team anymore. But when you look at the results from 2023, like we said already, Thailand emerged victorious. They defeated Australia. And then in third was the United States. And fourth was Sweden. Tied for fifth was South Korea and China. Seventh was England, and eighth was Japan. So, Emma, I'll start with you. Were there any big surprises there for you when you look back on that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard because every player from each of these countries is so good. It is unpredictable. Obviously, for me, Japan was the biggest shock. I mean, they're probably in the running to win it this year. I don't know.
Yep.
They're really good. Japan, I think, is a shock. And then I think people forget about Sweden a lot of times. Sweden is this country that you may not realize how many good players. Yes, you don't realize how many players are from Sweden, but there's so many good players from Sweden. So I think when I just look at it in general, you're like, Sweden? Oh, what? But yeah, they have so many great players on the LPGA Tour that are from Sweden. So those are my two. I think Australia, they always come in hot because they're so close as like the girls on the tour, they're so close and they thrive on I'm representing my country. And they're all really close friends as well. So I think Australia too, they come together as a team that week, and always I think this is like one of their favorite weeks of the year. So you always have to put them up at the top.
They have grit.
They do have grit.
Adam, what about you? Did you, any surprises there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I briefly touched on it, but the Japan effort or lack thereof, like they didn't win it. They were 0 wins. They didn't have any wins, right? Like it seems kind of shocking to look back and kind of witness that result kind of on paper. And then again, I think just to reiterate it, we just talked about Australia, but again, they came into the week ranked 7th out of the 8 teams, and one thing led to another, and camaraderie and good golf can kind of come out at any time, especially when it comes to these teams that are so small in size, right? There's only 4 golfers on each team, which means they're pretty top heavy and top loaded. You look, just quick reflection back 2 weeks ago at the Ryder Cup, each of those teams have 12 guys. Solheim Cup, of course, is the exact same way. And, sometimes maybe if somebody's not playing very well, you can kind of bury them and figure it out from there. Teams of only 4, you're not going to be able to bury someone if they're not playing very good. But on the flip side, if all 4 of them are playing great, then they can all go on a run. So same thing, reiterating what Emma said, but Japan's struggles was a surprise, and Australia's run to the finale, I guess not so much a surprise, but if you're just looking straight up on paper, 7th ranked into the week, then bit of a Cinderella run for them.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, do you think it's because, just curiosity, golf is a one-man sport, and I feel like a lot of the Japanese players, they're very focused. They're the sweetest people in the world, but they're very focused. And I don't know if they've done a lot of team golf, whereas Australia, they're kind of the rah-rah. I think they might thrive in a team environment because they're kind of like, let's go. Do you think that has anything? Yeah. Do you think that has anything to do with that? These finishes from last year?
I'd say probably the short answer to that question is I understand about Australia, Hannah Green, Minjee Lee, you hear them talk a lot about kind of that. So Australia, you definitely get the sense that they are a team, just like kind of Europe on the Ryder Cup. They've had so much success because you can tell it's very evident that they're a team. Whereas, some of these other squads, Japan, maybe, the Americans, maybe to a lesser extent, but they might just be like a team, but a team that's made up of a collection of individuals, whereas there's that thread through a team like Australia to really have them all kind of be together and supportive and supporting of one another. And when it comes to a competition like this, that's an intangible, right? You can't really measure that.
Something that surprised me was actually where Korea finished. I think because, they have such good players, and they won the last time it was in Korea. So I think it was people had high expectations for them.
Ranked second.
And then they came in and finished middle of the pack. So I think it's going to be interesting watching them coming into this year's International Crown to see where they finish, and especially on home soil. So that'll be fun. But let's talk about how it even happens because
let's go.
That is one of the questions I get a lot is, what is the format of this event? Because we have team events, we have the Solheim Cup and, the PGA Tour, they have the Ryder Cup and President's Cup, but this is unlike anything else. Adam, you've worked a lot of golf events. So I'm going to pass it over to you to kind of break down the format. It's a 4-day event.
Yes.
So how does it work, and what can people expect to see?
Well, a lot. Kind of all in a row. So I think I'm going to make sure we got all of our facts straight, but here we go. This is the Cole's Notes version of how the Hanwha LifePlus International Crown works. 4 days of competition. First 3 days are 4 balls. So that's Thursday through Saturday, and 4 ball is basically best ball. 2 players on a team, low score counts for the team score. The top 2 countries from each pool, there's pools here. There's Pool A and Pool B, and I will say which teams are in each pool in a second. The top 2 countries will make it to the semifinal matches, firstly played on Sunday morning, so on the final day. Each semifinal match, 2 singles matches, and then a foursome, so an alternate shot match. And then the winning semifinal countries will compete in the finale on Sunday in the afternoon, and then there'll also be a third-place match for the bronze in and amongst the two losing semi-final countries. And the final matches, I should say, will be in the same format as the semi-final. A win counts for 1 full point, a tie is a half point, and a loss, of course, is 0 points. The seeding for this year, Pool A, when I saw what the pools were, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. So Pool A, the United States of America, ranked number 1. And then we've got Australia, Thailand, and China. That makes up pool number A. Pool number B, or Pool B, Japan.
Pool number B.
Yeah. Japan and Korea, Sweden, and the world team. Oh, boy. This is gonna be sick. So there you go. It's 3 days.
Adam's
We'll
getting hyped
sprint
up.
through the finish. Fourth day, we'll see who emerges from pool play as the champions, and then it kind of is round robin down from there. So the way it worked is seeds number 1 and 4 and 5 and 7. They make up pool A, and then seed numbers 2, 3, 6, and 7. They make pool number B. So 1, 4, 5, and 8, pool number A. 2, 3, 6, and 7, pool B.
That went over my head a little bit, but yeah. What he said.
Not the professional golfer.
Go to the internet
knowing
and
what he
figure it
said.
out. Yeah. In any case.
Just watch.
Just
Tune
watch.
in.
The golf's going to be good, and the teams are, the pools are stacked, and that part's going to be awesome. So there you go.
Yeah. No, I think once you start watching, you're like, oh, it's all starting to make sense. Like, if you're more of like a visual learner, like myself and Emma, it seems like
It's like 4 days, 4 balls, 4
They play
subs,
golf.
and then that's it. Yeah.
no, like it can be confusing. That's why I wanted you to break it down, and I knew you were the best one to
tried.
do that.
I'd be
Except for
What?
calling pool. I was calling pool,
Yeah.
pool number A. That was a tough scene.
pool
but
number A.
People get
That's
it.
all right.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch on at first. I was like, yeah, pool number A.
Yeah. Duh, obviously.
Makes sense.
I was just saying it in such an
it.
authoritative way.
It'll come
Yeah,
together.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Just, you know what?
Act confident and you're good.
Just turn it on, and you know what? Hope got you covered. LPGA now, presented by Serpro.
Exactly.
If
Tune
not,
in.
So, yeah.
I'll give you the rundown if you can't watch overnight.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next up, we get to do the most exciting part of the pod. We get to pick our teams that we think are
stink at
going to
this,
do
though.
well.
We stink.
Yeah, no, we stink.
Yeah, but
you know what?
we've
We
gotta-
are each picking 2
I was
teams. So
gonna
if
say.
we do not pick a winning team,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with us.
We got majority action here. Like 6 of the 8 teams. Spoiler: 6 of the 8 teams are going to get selected here. Like if one of
Right.
these other 2 teams manage, like we just no.
Yeah,
can't do
we
it.
might replace ourselves with
Chat GPT
with
can
followers
come in.
with AI.
We can have a 4th AI host who can make the picks and be like, "Oh, look at that."
They really do have all the data.
You're really
so I
stealing
feel
our
like that
job.
would be unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. Go Hope, go. Let's see.
but-
Who are we doing? What's happening?
Okay.
Who are we
Yeah,
picking?
so we're each picking 2 teams that we think are going to play the best or that we think might have the best chance of winning. And my 2 teams, I don't think that will be a surprise, especially after what we all just talked about. One of them did finish in dead last in 2023, which we have discussed, and that is Team Japan. But I just don't think that matters this year.
Worst to first.
They have been every single player from Japan on the LPGA Tour has been crushing it this year. The fact that Chisato and Akie, the twins from Japan, did not make this team is what is so crazy because they've been playing so well. So
And they've both won.
on the Japanese team. Exactly. So that just shows like how good they are. Like every single player from Japan is in the top 20 in the Rolex rankings. So we have Miyu Yamashita, Mao Saigo, Ryo Takada, and Ayaka Furue. 3 of them are major champions. One of them is a multiple time winner and is bound to win a major in the next year or 2. And the way that they play, they're just so consistent. And when you put 4 of them together who have all been trending all season long, like I think they're either going to win or, they're at least going to be in the finals match, in my opinion. Now, who am I hoping? Yeah. Who am I hoping is playing them in the finals match? Because that would mean I made my picks really well. is Team Australia. That is my other team pick. And like we all have talked about, they have grit. They are all best friends, which, I mean, you got to look at it from that perspective. It has to help, like they all get along so well. And I think between all of them, they have 18 wins. 3 of them are major champions, and 2 of them have won this season. So that is made up of Minjee Lee, Hannah Green, Grace Kim, and Steph Kiriakou. So I think they're going to do really well. They did really well in 2023, and I'm hoping that's who the final match is between.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Run it back.
I have to say, Hope, like those are really good picks, and I can't even disagree with you on them.
But like, who knows what's going to happen?
But
you are
like, disagreeing.
Who
with
knows?
Her
Yeah,
I am disagreeing.
So tell us how you're disagreeing.
Okay, well, I've gone back and forth. My number 1 pick is South Korea. They have 28 wins of the 4 between the 4 of them. You've got a past world number 1. You've got Hooju Kim, who just won an event. Haeron Ryu, who she's second place queen. I mean, I hate to call her that, but she is.
Top
She's had
5
so
queen.
many. I mean, it's like every week. It's like, who's in second? Haeron Ryu.
Hate on.
So like,
So true.
and then Haejin Choi, who's just so consistent. We've picked her so much this year. She still doesn't have a win, but like she's top 20 in the world for a reason, and she doesn't have a win. So like it's just so consistent all the time. So I think between them, they're really good players. They're in their home country. They have good vibes. They're all playing well. They're all like the nicest people in the world. They're my number 1. I think they're going to win it. Now, my second pick, my number B pool.
Number B.
Number B. Oh,
Shots
The number B pool. This one I really struggled with because I wanted to pick the United States. But as we know, Nelly Korda had to withdraw from an injury. So I have decided I'm going to go with Thailand. You've got Gino. Can you say the names, Hope? I know that's terrible.
Yeah,
but can
I got
say
you.
I think anyone can understand. Go for it. My hillbilly accent doesn't work.
We have Gino Titakun, Jasmine Suwanapura, Shaneti Wanasayan, and Padri and Anarukarn.
Okay, can you
So,
understand
I
why my
have to-
hillbilly accent doesn't work with that?
I have to say them every week, so I have practiced.
I didn't
but
want to
you're
butcher
good.
any, but okay. So they're my second pick, and it's because obviously they won last year. They're very close as well. They're very young. They're very consistent, and you've got the number 1 player in the world to kind of pull you along
it out.
for the week. So they're my second pick.
Nice. Adam?
All right,
Finish it off.
we're in. All right, this is fun.
And by
This
the
is-
way,
this is
they
gonna
all
be,
have nicknames. Just saying.
this is gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great week. Pick number 1 for me is Sweden. We talked about Sweden a little while ago about why and how they could be so good, and I don't think that they are going to be missing anything. In fact, I think they're just added from their 2023 squad. So we got Maya Stark, obviously broke through, won a major this year. Madeline Sagstrom's just been a stalwart on that Solheim Cup team for a long time now. Ingrid Lindblad, of course, the shot of youth has come into the mix. I'm excited to see her. Obviously, a bunch of years college golf, extremely successful on that side of things. So she knows kind of how to be in the mix there. And then Lynn Grant. Lynn, of course, could not play in the 2023 edition due to some COVID-19 protocols and the lack of travel. But, her and Madeline and Maya obviously been a part of those Solheim Cup teams for a long time, as I mentioned. So, would not be surprised to see Sweden play extremely, extremely well at the International Crown. And then, of course, I would not be a part of this podcast if I didn't pick the world team as my number 2 team. A lot of reasons. Brooke Henderson, Lydia Ko, Charley Hull, and Wei Ling Shi.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, I think Wei Ling Wei Ling might be kind of the only one that people are like, oh, yeah, haven't really heard. But, 10-year veteran, 3 top 10s this year, playing solid enough. And I actually think, Brooke and Lydia are really good friends. Brooke and Charley know each other from the TaylorMade stuff. And then Brooke and Wei Ling are friends, too. So, I think there could be some neat just kind of team-ups there that we've never seen. Very quickly, and then I'll stop talking, but I looked up when the last time Lydia and Brooke actually played in, team tournaments. And it was, for Lydia, it was 2010 and 2012. And for Brooke, it was 2012 and 2014 at the Espirito Santo Trophy. And in
my
2012, Lydia won the individual championship at that particular event, and New Zealand was tied for 5th. And then in 2014, Canada was 2nd, while Brooke won the individual title
Oh,
at that
interesting.
particular tournament. Minji Lee was 2nd that year as well. So they do have some experience playing on teams, but Hope, kind of to your point from when we first started talking, like that's 13 years ago. That's a long time. With obviously the Olympics not being real team events. So that part's going to be cool, but I do think that on paper you can't ignore them. So World Team and Team Sweden for me.
Nice.
Yep. All right. Those are some good picks. Hopefully we pick one because that was 6 out of the 8. But we want.
I gotta say one thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't able to, if you want to go check out, I hadn't done this before, but if you want to go check out all the teams and their cool logos, I know that sounds silly, but they are pretty cool. There's a website and you can get to that on the LPGA Tour website. So I went there last night and this morning, and it's actually really interesting and fun to kind of look at all the teams, and it's a cool setup. So I would say go check it out if you have time, because it's really cool.
And all the details about how to actually, building off exactly what you said, I think the website that you're talking to also has all the details about how the matches work. So if you're confused about pool number A and pool number B, then just go on the website.
That's where you can learn.
Yeah, that's where you can learn more.
No, for sure. I love that, Emma. Hashtag ad, except it's not, but you're so right. It is a really cool website, and I've lived on it the last week just trying to get educated on everything before I head over to Korea. So check out the website, like Emma said. Tell us your picks in the comments. Pick 2 teams you think are going to win, and maybe you'll do better than us. Maybe you'll pick the finals match. You never know. But until then, have a good week, everybody. Leave reviews, share these episodes, do all the things, because we make these episodes for y'all. It's not for ourselves. This was fun, guys. I'm excited to see what happens. Be sure to tune in on Golf Channel if you are in the US, and then you can go to lpga.com to find out how to watch in other countries. It's going to be an exciting week, and thanks for catching up with me, guys. Let's see who wins.
Let's go. We got to get
Go
one.
team. Yeah, we have to get one. We all pick someone
It's going to be
else.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be great. Safe
Thanks,
travels,
guys.
Hope. Yay.
Thank you.
Have fun. Eat some yummy food for us.
Thanks.